business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the pod.
Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. Every episode is an invitation, absolutely a reminder that business and life isn't just about profit. It is important, but it's not just about that. It's about purpose. It's about showing up with a servant's heart, every deal, every decision, every day to make a powerful impact on others. My guest today, we're going to talk sales. And when I get powerful female businesswomen, it lights me up because I think women are going to take over the world in business. I know, guys, you're going to send me emails, and that's okay. I just believe that. She's going to motivate you. She's going to challenge you. The most important thing that I've learned before the show, and you're going to walk away with tools that inspire action, both in your life and that you can share with others. How cool is that? Before we dive in, here's your homework today. How are you going to serve yourself and others today? It doesn't have to be a big impact. Even a small act of kindness or courage can really change the game. So lean in, take notes. Let's discover how servant leadership in business can create a ripple effects that last far beyond the bottom line. And quick shout out to Epic Impact. It's my storytelling AI tool that has blown up my podcast, but more importantly, impacted so many, many people. I get to engage, persuade, inspire, and close with clarity with my stories. I use it daily and it works. So grab your free trial at epicimpact.ai with promo code Steve. Start inspiring action today. And a quick shout out to all of you, including my guests today. We have top 20 in small business marketing, actually number 6. Why is that important? Because we're impacting people. Yeah, it's great, the accolades, and I'm not going to put that, that's not the forefront of doing these podcasts. It's the impact that we are making, you, the audience, and all those 800 guests I've had. So keep doing that. Let's keep impacting. Let's jump right in. Leslie, welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart.
Thank you so much for having me here, Steve. I love hearing you talk about the impact because I create a lot of content. And some of the posts you're just like, oh my gosh, was that even worth it? It took so much time and it got, 11 likes. And it's so interesting because those will always be the posts that a couple months later, I'll get a DM from somebody that said, hey, I don't know if you remember that post, but because of it, I closed this deal. I got this job. I had this tough conversation. And so it really is, it is a lot of work to create these types of spaces and create this type of content, but the impact that we get to make on people is such a gift.
Well, I love doing these shows because sometimes I have to pivot. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to change my direction because I agree with you. We don't know the shoes people are walking in. A smile could change somebody's life. I've had so many emails, probably like you, of spending time with somebody and helping them for 30 minutes. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. It's unfortunate because the world is so excited about that. That shouldn't be an outlier. It should be a norm, but we're not going to get into that. But tell us how sales can make an impact the right way.
Ooh. So let me tell you this, because maybe I'm not the only person that has felt this way, but I did not want a job in sales. Like, right? Relatable. I was a child of the 80s. I very much grew up with like the societal narrative and certainly like what we were being fed by Hollywood, that sales was about manipulation, about lying, about cheating, like drugs, womanizing, that it was just bad and gross. And it was a profession that people should be ashamed of. And when I talk about this in the book, but I the first sales job that I took, I kind of took it begrudgingly because I had moved from a town of 60,000 in Montana to a town of, city of 6 million in Chicago. And I needed a job. I needed to pay my bills. And I thought, I'll do this sales job until I can get something better. And I realized almost immediately, like I'm talking within a couple of weeks, that the best sellers were really curious. They were really empathetic. They were great listeners. They were exceptional at asking, how can I help you? Even if the service I'm offering you is not, is not the right one, like how else can I help you? And it completely changed the way that I think about the profession. And like that's the answer to the question, is that sales, when done right, is this incredible opportunity to add value, to make people feel heard, and to help people.
But you just made me in the audience $1 million. Now people go, you can't say I can't. I'm going to take action, but people don't take action. That's why they don't make money. Let's say it's even $10,000, because those 4 things that you mentioned, I'm going to highlight. Listen. If you're not a good listener, how can you be good in sales? Or can you? What do you think? All right. She's going to make a change here. Think about that. Do you listen when you listen? Talk to people. And what's interesting that Leslie said before the show, and I'll bring it back when she comes back, is we're all selling. Yes. So when you're listening, you should be personally selling, professionally selling. So you said a couple of empathy was a great word, but the listen thing, I'm a huge huge listener, first of all, I'm a host, but how important that value, that skill set, that habit is, and how does it tie into being great at sales?
So I teach a session, a workshop. It's one of my most highly rated keynotes and training on how to be a better active listener. And I think it is such a popular and well-received subject because people don't think of it as a sales training subject. And then they sit through it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is actually the best sales training that I've had in years. Because it is such an incredible gift that we can give people. And it costs $0 to make them feel seen and make them feel heard. And active listening is really at the base of that. But what's really interesting, Steve, is that going through this process of leading these workshops and continuing to read books and read articles and do my own workshops and trainings to be a better listener myself has made me I think it is just made me believe so deeply that active listening is the most core and foundational skill for sales success, period.
Leslie, mic drop. That's a home run. It's a grand slam, not even a home run. Because here's why. You could give me all the sales training in the world. You could make me a great salesperson. But if that one aspect of listening is not part of it, I'll never make a sale. Well, I can say that. Probably will rarely make a sale, because how can I sell somebody if I don't know them? And if I don't ask, I'm getting fired up here, because if I don't ask a question, how do I know that person? I love that. Audience, we're going to get her contact info. You're going to reach out to this girl. Before I forget, because we're going to go on such a big tangent here about sales, let's talk about the book, because you're so proudful of it and has so many great accolades. Talk about the book, the title, and what it's all about.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. So exciting. Profit generating pipeline. Keeping my copy
Beautiful
handy.
book too.
And you'll love
put the book up again. The book.
You'll love the
That's
subtitle.
Beautiful.
Because it's a proven formula to earn trust and drive revenue. And it's interesting, Steve, because when I was going through the process of iterating on the title, we had profit generating pipeline locked in. And they were asking me to go through this I want test, meaning that if somebody reads the title of the book, they would say I want a profit generating pipeline. And they pushed me on the subtitle because they said, do people actually want to earn trust? And I was like, that's a valid question. I'm genuinely not sure. That sounds like work, and people don't usually like to do work. And I was so adamant that even though they told me to not put the trust in the title, I was so adamant that trust is the foundation of my entire sales philosophy, that if it wasn't in the subtitle, if it was not central to the point I was making to what I was teaching in the book, then the book was not worth writing and publishing. So we stuck with it. We published it. The reviews have been amazing. Some of them are so kind and so moving that they have literally brought me to tears. Going back to impact, seeing the initial and immediate impact that it's making on people. And then beyond that, the big goal that I had set for myself was to debut as a USA Today bestseller. But that's hard. It's a really big goal. It's a really big goal for anybody, but it's a particularly big goal for, what is kind of niche, like B2B sales leadership and prospecting content. And it's a particularly big goal because only 8.5% of best-selling authors are women. And I didn't just make the list, which is the top 150 books of all genres published in the previous week. I made it at 50 for all genres and debuted as the #2 business book, USA Today bestselling business book in the entire country. So it was literally Mel Robbins' Let Them and then my book. So it's been incredible. It's been an incredible journey of writing and getting the privilege of sharing my knowledge and seeing the impact and hitting these big personal milestones. Very hard work, very worth it.
I just met you today, but that's why I love doing podcasts. It's so well deserved because your heart's in it,
Thank
not your
you.
pocketbook. Pocketbook's important. People come back to right. Well, we need money. Yeah, we all need money. We don't have to talk about that. But where's your foremost mindset?
Yeah.
Is it
Gosh,
heart or is it money? Right?
you better hope that you're not doing it for money because it is not a money-making venture. If anything, it's a
No.
bit of a money pit, but I think of it as like an evergreen marketing asset. Not like I'm not trying to make my money back by slinging individual books. I'm trying to make my money back by having the opportunity to impact somebody that wants to bring me in to share my knowledge and make a bigger impact, on their organization or on their sales team or association or whatever, whatever the
Yeah.
case may be.
An audience, and I'm going to tell you, Leslie, what I talk about with impact, there's a currency to that. What's that? Well, it's the universe, or I'm a faith guy, God. They're going to pay you back. We just don't know how, when, or where. And that's why I love you've said impact about 8 times so far in the conversation. You got me lit up because if we're not focused on our purpose, whatever that is, it's not making impact. You might as well just stay and watch video games and eat cereal all day because
Mm.
that's what we should be doing as humans. I want to jump into trust because this is something in sales that's huge. But part of that is listening. How is somebody going to trust Leslie unless you're listening to me to understand? Talk about that bridge there between trust and listening.
Yeah. Um, So like when I think about trust, Steve, it really is the foundation of my sales philosophy. And in that context, I would say that getting a chance to listen is a privilege. So before we even get the chance to listen, we have to build enough trust. We have to earn the right to our prospects' attention and to their time, and then ultimately to their consideration, where they will even get on a call with us and that we have the privilege of listening. So, like in that context, I very much think of listening as a gift that our prospects are giving us. And the least that we can do is to show up prepared with a point of view, having done our research and prepared in the right mindset, that we are there to listen, to understand instead of just to respond.
Gift is that's why I love doing podcasts. I get to learn as well. I'm going to start bringing that on. I get the gift to listen to you, and some of my guests, a lot of my guests, like you're doing today, have brought me resources, brought me gifts, and it's just being able to. But and it's just funny for me and you listening. It's easy because we do it so much, but it's hard for everybody else. So, what's your first step? Somebody's listening, going, "Okay, listen, you proved me it's great. What's my first step to be a better listener?"
Oh, well, first, I think an acknowledgement that if listening to focus is hard for you,
Mm,
like you're not doing anything wrong, you're not broken. Like we
yeah.
live in a world that is at just the apex of distraction. People are constantly competing for your attention. We have the Slack dinging and the social media. And so the result of that is that our neural pathways are biased towards distraction, which means they are biased against focus. And if you struggle with focus, it is especially hard to be present and active listen. So first, like just an acknowledgement that it is hard, and it's not hard because you're doing anything wrong. It's hard because we live in a world of distraction, which means that if you want to be an active listener, you have to take the accountability and the responsibility to counteract that. And the number one thing I would say is meditation. Maybe not what you expected, I know, but just a few moments. For me, I meditate just for 10 minutes at least every single day before I start the day. And sometimes I'll do some like breath work or meditation or yoga or, sit in silence at different points in the day. But just taking 10 minutes at the beginning of every single day to quiet my mind, it fundamentally changes my ability to focus and to show up and be present for people for the rest of the day.
A spiritual sales leader. I love that. And I agree. I did this morning. I box breathing. I love box breathing is great, especially if you get something coming on. And it's so cool. And these are tools that people can do. We can't make people listen. It's got to start with your mindset and and keep that in mind. I love that you said there's nothing wrong with you, because there's introverts out there that go, "Oh, I'm an introvert. I can't do business." You absolutely can, because you know what an introvert does? They ask a question and shut up and listen, because they don't want to talk. And they're like, I never thought about it. I said, you guys have a huge advantage. You'd be great salespeople if you so desire.
Steve, I've been hiring salespeople for the better part of 2 decades, and I will tell you, a huge red flag to hear in hiring interviews is when people say stuff like, "Oh, I could sell ice to an Eskimo," or "I could argue with a stop sign," and it's always the people that would describe themselves as extroverts that say stuff like that. "Oh, everybody always told me I should get into sales because I love to talk." Those are the skills that make you terrible at sales, not good at sales. So it's funny that you bring up being introverted, because I would say the majority of the best salespeople I know are in the ambivert category, followed by introverts and then followed by extroverts. Like extroverts tend to be some of the, I don't want to say worst, but some of the least skilled sellers I know, because they don't spend as much time listening and tapping into EQ as folks that are somewhere else on that spectrum.
You nailed me. You obviously have
Ambivert.
energy. I'm an extrovert and that, but years ago, I used to pitch people all the time and never listen. And I'm an extrovert. You're right. But I've learned, because of podcasting, shut your mouth. Let the guests put out pearls of wisdom. With those pearls of wisdom, the profit generating pipeline. And you've got Heels to Deals books. We've talked about that first, the profit generating. Heels to Deals. Love the title. When I read it this morning before our show, I'm like, this is awesome. What's that mean?
Yeah, that was a project that I wrote a chapter in that book. So it's a project that I was invited to be a part of about 4 years ago now. And it was the first time I'd had a chapter in a book. So it was the first time I technically became an author. And then I've been lucky to be invited to write chapters for a few books since then. And it was part of the catalyst to want to write a solo book and to have some of that that confidence that my voice mattered and was valuable, and that my knowledge would help people. The book was a lot of fun. I think it was 23 women total, and all of us had a chapter in it. It was really, I think for me, even as one of the authors, it was really inspiring to read the book and hear everybody's journeys. And so often, sales as a profession was this chance for them to find their voice or reclaim their voice. Sales as a profession is a great equalizer. It's one of the few professions that people have access to without any higher education. Like not even with a bachelor's, you can get into sales, and within a few years, you can be making six figures. And so it's this profession that can literally change the trajectory of entire family lines. And to hear these women change their lives, change their families' lives through finding this profession, and then to see it all in one, beautiful book, chapter after chapter, was so cool. And then I got the closing chapter, so I brought it home with some motivation.
Look at you. Finish the race. Bring it on, Leslie. I love it. And what you just said, audience out there under 40, game changer. If you're struggling, learn sales. Just grab her book and read sales. We're coming to the end here. It's a question that I like to ask about sales, and it's get a different answer all the time. What do you think the next 2 to 3 years look like in sales? How is it going to change, or is it going to stay the same?
That is such a tricky question. I think something about sales is that it is a profession that is always changing and always stays the same. I view it a bit like a river, right? Like the river continues to flow, but the force of it kind of changes, maybe the riverbed and the way it flows. And so I think that sales will continue to relentlessly push forward and overall not much will change. And I think that's quite sad because there are some really important things that should change in the profession that would make it a better, more buyer-centric profession. But I would say more specifically, Steve, that something I am both very excited about and worried about are AI applications in sales, because today I'm predominantly seeing organizations using AI to cut corners, to go faster, but to go faster in the wrong direction. And it is entrenching, it is validating this narrative of sales being this hated and terrible profession. And as somebody who has, like I want my legacy to be one of transforming sales into a more respected and more inclusive profession. And today it feels like so many of the applications of AI are just in direct conflict with that. And so I hope I call to sales leaders, to business owners, to founders to be more thoughtful, more intentional, more strategic with the way that they are using AI to be better servants to their buyers versus just to, make their life easier and faster.
I support you 1,000,000% on that one. I'm backing you, and audience, hope you do too. Keep an eye out for it. AI is not going away. It's good and bad. Like the internet's good and bad. Just be aware of it, like you're saying. It's so wonderful. Anna, I want to get to know you a little bit more. I want the audience to know you a little bit more. So I'm going to ask you a unique question. So I've reserved a table at a restaurant for you, table of 4. You're going to sit in one of the chairs. You get 3 empty chairs. Who does Leslie invite, dead or alive, that you just always wanted to talk to, get to know, learn from, listen from? But most importantly, what food does Leslie order for the table?
Oh my gosh. Food, it would have to be like a Spanish or Italian restaurant. I feel like tapas is a good mix because then you can accommodate everybody's dietary preferences, and they also have like lots of vegetarian options. So I feel like tapas is a good mix. You snack, you have like picky bits, great for conversation, great for accommodation. In terms of who else is sitting with me at the table, um, oh my God. My grandma recently died. I'm gonna like cry on your podcast. My grandma recently died, and I think about her all the time. So it would be really nice to see her again. There's this fantasy author that I love called Brandon Sanderson. And I think the way that he approaches his writing and the world and sort of bucking some of the conventional publishing trends is really compelling. So maybe like pick his brain about his journey and where he gets his inspiration and where he sees the future of publishing. Um, and then probably Brene Brown. I mean, she's just, yeah, like her writing has influenced me so deeply. And she is just such an incredible researcher and author and advocate, that I think that would make a pretty interesting conversation. Like my 93-year-old grandma, a lady that researches vulnerability, a super nerdy like dude that writes fantasy, and then little old me in sales.
What a table. We'll have to bring in a 5th chair because I'll bring in Mel Robbins and go, Mel, I'm coming after you in books. So we'll bring her on.
There we go. I support that.
You're a blessing because you take sales, you're humble about it, you're extremely successful, didn't talk about it, you want to help and serve people. I know people listening want to connect with you. How can they connect with you?
Yeah, I post on LinkedIn every single day. So that's my primary platform, just under my name, Leslie Venetz. I also make a lot of video content. So if you prefer video content, I'm on TikTok at Sales Tips Talk. And then I'm also growing my YouTube channel, which is at B2B Sales Coach. I'm hoping to hit 1,000 followers by the end of the year. And then of course, people can go snag a copy of the book, Profit Generating Pipeline, like, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, really, anywhere that you buy books.
Sure, I'll have all that in the show notes, everybody, so you can access her. Thanks again for taking the time, being on the show. You're a blessing again. Audience, here's your homework at the end. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And a lot of podcast hosts say that maybe their interest is to grow subscribers. And I have 10,000 subscribers, so I'm very happy. I love all you guys. But here's the thing is these podcasts are gifts. Leslie's a perfect example. You're talking to somebody at a birthday party. It's Friday when we're recording. And Saturday, you're at a birthday party. And people are like, I'm struggling with my sales. You know what? I just listened to Leslie on this podcast. Let me send you the link. And they get to learn right from the horse's mouth how to do sales. I've learned something. I've been selling for 40 years. I just learned something. So use these podcasts, subscribe, get these links, and share them out as they resonate. And by the way, it doesn't have to be my podcast. Any podcast out there that you listen to, I do it all the time. I take the link, go, hey, check this out. I think you'll like that. And let's impact people. Let's end with impact. We started with impact. Let's do that right now. Thank you all for watching. Me and Leslie want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Leslie.
Everybody.